Hey everyone. So it's been, at least a week and a half, maybe closer to 2 weeks since I made a YouTube video, but I wanted to share with you guys some of the stuff that I've been learning as I continue in my journey. So it is almost 2 months since I've been on this lovely way of eating. And I think actually on the 14th, it'll officially be 2 months. And I've definitely gone through the ups and downs. I've had, the keto flu in the beginning. I've had definitely some areas of learning, I guess you can say. And I've definitely been through the stalls. So this video, I wanted to share with you guys some of my struggles in terms of the weight loss stalls, and also just kind of what I figured out for me, what's working to get through them, get past them, and get back on track. So for the past month, give or take, I have gone through a few different times where I've had stalls. I used to weigh myself every day, multiple times a day, in fact, just to see how the diet was going, how things are fluctuating, and, kind of learn what worked for me. In the beginning, I had to figure out, do I focus on net carbs? Do I focus on total carbs? And I did a video before where I learned that for me to see the rapid results that I kind of was hoping for, I needed to focus on total carbs for the day being at 20 or less. So I still stick to that every day. Now, with that being said, when I notice for a few days that I'm stalling at the same weight or fluctuating within a few ounces here or there, I know that two things need to happen. One, I need to carb up a little, and I usually do it for 2 days, and then I strictly carb back down. Now, let me give you an example. So 2 times out of the month, for a total of 2 days each time, I will carb up. And when I say carb up, I mean that I probably go into the 50 to maybe on the high end 60 carbs for that day. So that doesn't mean that I'm like going through every meal carb heavy, eating all the carbs I want, binge eating. It's none of that. It's strictly where usually it's at my dinner meal. I will have something that has a little bit more carbs. So I may have a dish that has maybe a potato in it or a sweet potato, or I may have like a cauliflower casserole and then just have more than one serving or something like that. Or I may do a gluten-free type of dessert, which has a little bit more carbs, so that I get that bump and I try to stay under 50, but it's been a little trial and error, and there's been a few times where I've only done it 4 times now total since I've started, where I've gone over and been closer to 60. So with that being said, once I do it one day, I usually tend to do it a second day as well. And then the third and fourth day, I am keto strict. Now what I mean by that is, I'll give you an example of my day. So regardless if I'm keto strict or not, I generally don't eat breakfast. I never have an appetite for it first thing in the morning. I feed all my kids and my husband breakfast, and then I usually just have a keto coffee. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, I've given you even the recipe that I do for that, but even that I've scaled down over the last month. So when I make my keto coffee, I do just one little K-cup in the Keurig of whatever coffee. And in the blender, I do 1 tablespoon of that Kerrygold grass-fed organic butter. I do 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. And then I do about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half, I eyeball it, of heavy whipping cream. And then some days I'll add just a very small splash of vanilla extract, and some days I won't even add that. And then I just whirl it in the blender, serve it, and I drink that. I never add sweetener to it. I don't do like that MCT oil or anything like that. Mine's very basic. And I usually drink that coffee once a day in the morning. And then For lunch, usually on the strict days, I just have a cup of chicken broth. Someday I'm going to do bone broth. I just haven't made it yet. But I do that Better Than bouillon. It comes in a jar. It's like the creamy condensed version of a chicken broth, and then you just add like a tablespoon to boiling water or really hot water, let it dissolve, and then it's chicken broth. So I drink a cup of that, and then usually around 3 o'clock, after I pick up my kids and they're all eating snacks, if I'm hungry at that point, I'll eat a few small pieces of cheese, like the little cubes, or maybe just a string cheese, and then I'll have, 2 or 3 slices of salami, or a few of the pepperonis, maybe 2 or 3 stuffed olives, or pepperoncinis, something like that, but very small. So total, the Better Than bouillon is 2 carbs, I believe, and then that plate is generally no more than 2 to 3 carbs. So by 3 or 4 in the afternoon, I've only had at most maybe 5 carbs. And then for dinner, on my keto strict days, I try to stay around 5 to 7 carbs for dinner. On the high end, if I'm doing something with cauliflower and that has more carbs, then I'll be closer to 10 carbs for the meal, but never more than 15 in a day on those 2 days following high carb days. And that seems to really help keep me in balance so that I don't gain a ton of weight. But it also, for me, for whatever reason, seems to restart my body into getting into ketosis and starting to burn off that fat more quickly. That, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not sure why it works, but for me it does. And then also, of course, I am continually trying to drink more water. If you've seen any of my other videos, again, I struggle with drinking water. I don't know what it is. I just never think about it. I usually grab one of these. I even have it ready. I'll drink, 1 to 2 of those per day, and then it is a battle to get me to drink the rest of the water that I need. I mean, I get a few glasses out during the day. I'll load it with ice and drink water, and I'll try, and it'll just sit there. But that is another video altogether. I'm working on it. And like I said, I'm almost 2 months in. I haven't even really started exercising. The most that I do is I have a little Fitbit. And, when I'm cleaning the house or running my errands, I just try to keep track and see. Every day I try to kind of beat myself from the day before, but I don't take any walks. I don't exercise yet. It's something that I plan to do, but I just haven't made it a part of my routine yet. So I'm working towards that. But I wanted to share with you guys that also, for me, I have a lot of holidays in April. Obviously, we have Easter coming up next week. Now, for me, Easter is going to be kind of easy because that tends to be more of a potluck holiday for our family. We'll be going to my husband's side, and everybody usually brings a dish or two, and we all kind of share it together. And after church, we all eat a big meal like around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and it's no big deal. So this year, I'll bring everything that's keto friendly so that I know that I have stuff to eat. I can bring deviled eggs, I can do keto jalapeno poppers, or some sort of a cauliflower casserole dish, or, there's a lot of options out there. And then, of course, I can eat ham or any other meat that they serve. So it's kind of an easier holiday. The ones that are going to be hard for me this month is my birthday. So I'll be 37 a few days after Easter this year, and my husband and I are going to go out to a really nice restaurant out of town. It's a fondue restaurant, which I love. And we're probably going to spend the afternoon at a winery or 2 in the area and just make it a really nice day. But of course, that means that those are going to be carb heavy days. I don't like calling them cheat days because it makes me feel like I fail. So as long as I know that I'm going to have those, I try to plan ahead and just do the best that I can with making the choices that day, but I already know that I'm going to give myself grace and I'm going to let myself enjoy my birthday, have a few glasses of wine, enjoy my dinner. But prior to that, I'm probably going to be keto strict the 2 days before my birthday. The day after my birthday, we're gonna go out to dinner with extended family and the kids and everybody. So that, of course, will probably be a higher carb day for me as well, because we'll be at a restaurant. So those 2 days back to back, I already know are gonna be carb heavy for me. So I'm gonna be good 2 days before it, and I'm gonna be good, like really good keto strict 2 days after it, just to kind of keep my body in check when you look at it as a whole, instead of just going day by day and killing yourself because you cheated or went over or whatever. And remember, like, for a lot of us, this is a lifestyle. This isn't a diet for me that I'm trying to lose X amount of pounds. I mean, in my head, I know what I want to lose, but I don't have a end date inside. I'm just trying to do the best that I can every single day on this way of eating, and it's been great. I feel better. I know I've lost weight because my clothes fit better. Some are even too big now, and I will be doing my measurements and my total weight loss for my 2-month mark, probably around the 14th, which is actually when it's officially my 2 months on keto. So I'll share with you guys then kind of the things that have happened, progress-wise with where I am. And I'll try to start making more videos of the stuff that I'm eating every day. But for the most part, I try a few new recipes here or there, but everything else that we as a family eat is very tried and true, and you guys have seen them on other videos. So I haven't been able to experiment a whole lot more than what I've shown you guys, except for maybe here or there I'll find something different to try. But other than that, I just wanted to share this with you guys. I hope that it helps anybody that's going through stalls, just to give it a shot. Everything in this way of eating or this lifestyle is always trial and error, at least for me. And if my experience helps any of you, that's even better. I know that I constantly learn from other YouTubers that do this kind of lifestyle. I'm in a few different Facebook groups, so I always get different ideas, and I always see and hear other people's successes or struggles. So it's kind of nice just that there is such a big community of people out here doing this. So for all of you, I hope you found this useful. Be sure to comment, share, like, and subscribe. Thanks.